All right, my name is Big Time. I wanted to take a look at a panel that I saw the other day. I don't know if anyone's familiar, but 64 people were shot in Chicago over the weekend for Juneteenth. What a better way to appreciate your history than try to murder the people in your society? So, I don't know if you've ever heard of this show. There's a show on YouTube there's a guy called Chaotic Truth. He's got an interesting show. So I picked out a couple points I want to talk about. So this Iranian guy came on there and he said that he lives in the United Kingdom. 157.32. And they asked him, "Hey, does anything like this happen in the United Kingdom?" And here's what he said.
Concept. I think you know what 1350 is. I'm presuming,
Hmm.
um, and in Britain, I'll tell you this: in Britain, okay, we have an event called the Notting Hill Carnival, the Caribbean Festival, the Caribbean Carnival,
Okay.
which happens at the end of actually in a month or two. Um, we have an event called St. George's Day, which is an English, Catholic sort of based day, just like St. Patrick's Day, which is again for the Irish. This is for the English St. George's.
Yeah.
No deaths, no stabbings, nothing happened in St. George.
I want to be careful and provide commentary. I don't want to get copyrighted. I don't want to get a strike on my channel. So, and I'm trying to be respectful. But I just want to show this guy talks about just trying to provide commentary, so fair use.
Day this year.
What's the name of it again?
St. George's Day. St. George is a saint, the patron
Okay.
saint of the English,
Okay.
and Saint Patrick is the patron saint of the Irish. And everybody gets drunk and everybody celebrates. And as far as I know, there's been no stabbings at those events.
Yes.
But guess what? At the Caribbean Carnival, the Notting Hill Carnival last year, I think it was one person killed, another person was stabbed, and four people have been arrested. This was last year's one. Almost every year at the Notting Hill Carnival, there is a stabbing or a killing of some sort. The police presence of those events is greater than any of the other events I mentioned: St.
Mm.
George's Day, St. Patrick's Day, the Chinese New Year. The Chinese New Year, we have a Chinatown in Soho in London,
Yeah.
celebrated massively. All the Chinese are out, everybody from the diaspora, anyone who wants to celebrate goes down there. Fireworks. Nobody's ever stabbed.
So we'll keep it there. So he talks about the Afro Caribbean Festival, there's stabbings. And then there's a couple guys on the panel here from Chicago, and they ask him, "Do you now have to change where you go and how you act because of this festival?" And he said, basically, "Yeah, I'm afraid to bring my parents. We can't stay after when the sun goes down. We have to leave." So he's afraid. And nobody seemed to disagree with this point. Everybody, and then other people started to point out, yeah, there are festivals in New York, in New Jersey, in Chicago. It gets violent. But then some other things are said on the panel, and look, this is a 5 hour thing. You could say I'm cherry picking, but it's just interesting some of the things that are said. So let's go to 251. Because I was listening to this whole thing, I was like, wow. So let's see. 5144. So this guy from Chicago got on.
Issues, right? Now I get it. We love to have this parody on these panels. I appreciate the shows you put on CT. They're amazing. But they get up here and they spew their opinions on stuff they have no understanding about. They don't even live here, right? They don't even know any black people besides who they talk to on these panels. So when they get up here and trying to give us advice, whatever Mr. S thinks he's giving us, it's not conducive advice, and nobody's listening to you, brother.
Now, they're not talking about the Iranian at this point. There's actually another Muslim on the panel who was being confrontational, condescending to a lot of the blacks on the panel. But again, the sentiment becomes the sentiment goes from, you don't live here, you don't know us, why are you talking to us? We don't appreciate when non-black people talk about us. That's what I'm taking from it. And then it went further, where then the Iranian guy was attacked and he's told, well, you're not even American, and we don't care what you think about black violence because your country is super violent. Let me see. 35702. And I'm not good at video editing, so we're just kind of doing this off the jump.
I mean, it would be like an elephant riding a tricycle. It doesn't. You don't belong here. It's not meant for you. Okay.
Well,
So the first response was, I guess this is kind of a whataboutism. It's like, well, why are you talking about black issues? So the whole purpose of this conversation today was 22 people were shot at this one white suburb, this get together, where a bunch of black people showed up and just shot it and opened fire. And there were 62 shootings in Chicago over the weekend. One was at Roselawn, 6 people were shot. One was at Willowbrook, 22 people were shot. One person was killed at each of those. And then there were like 7 other separate shootings, I believe, where another 40 people were shot and 4 were killed. But the response is now that this, and everybody, it's weird how everybody agreed with this guy. They're like, yeah, when black people are around, it's violent. And he said, hey, I live in the UK. I can go to the Asian festival, no violence. I can go to the St. George's festival, the white people, no violence. But when I go to the Afro-Caribbean festival, people are stabbed and murdered. And everyone said, yeah, you got to be careful. Yeah, well, then they affect your way of life. And they agreed with him. But then a couple hours later, now they're telling them, you're not an American. Why are you talking about us? You're not black. We don't want your opinion. Your country's more violent than our country. You're from Iran.
Not only is the weather not meant for you, the culture, the customs, you should go someplace where you're better suited.
I'm not even in America. We just confirmed
But
that.
why is it? But also, let me ask you.
That is not an issue here.
But let me ask you a question. Why do so many? Do people who come from where you come from have a place in the United States? You're beating them up for not having their hijabs on correctly. And you want to tell us about black people shooting each other on Juneteenth?
So that becomes the conversation. So now it's like, why are you talking about black violence when your country, they're calling his country a shithole? And I'm not here to defend either side. I'm just saying what they said. Okay. So that to me is the deflection. We're talking about the shooting that happened in Chicago. Well, let's talk about the violence in the country you're from. And you don't belong here. And we don't like it when you talk about our problems and our issues. And I picked that one comment from this guy because later he says one more thing at 4:02. And this blew my mind. This is the one thing that blew my mind.
I'm not here to discuss to you. I can school you.
Your country calls us the great Satan. That's what your country calls us. Your people call us that. And that includes black people.
I gotta put you in the back of fast.
People.
Hafez, you sit in the back. All right, so Hafez, we gotta go on Ghetto so he can cook as well.
Eric, let me say this because this has to be said. We let. I called them.
This is the part that got me.
Pale skins, but I'll be respectful. They said some names I wasn't happy with, so I called them pale skins. This is what it comes to.
Hairy ass women. Sorry for the.
They got too many opinions on a specific group in America that they would never really even interact with if they came over here. They got opinions on these young inner city kids, gang members that's doing the shootings, whatever. They offering these solutions that are cornballish, because if I were to drop any one of you in these neighborhoods, I guarantee you within 30 minutes, you would leave butt naked with nothing, none of your valuables, because you don't know how to talk to these people or relate to them. You just.
There. Seeing the pattern now? So the Iranian guy in the United Kingdom says, all the other groups aren't violent. Your group is violent. And everybody acknowledges it at first. And then a couple hours later, he's being told he's not an American. Why are you talking? You're not black. Why are you talking? Your country's worse than our country. I guess that's similar to white people do it too. But then the icing on the cake is this is the same guy who said, not only do I not like non-black people talking about black issues, but if you were to, but these people that you don't know and these people that you don't understand would rob you of all of your possessions. So aren't you proving the Iranians' point? The Iranian said, I'm afraid to bring my parents to the Afro-Caribbean festival because I don't want them to die. And we have to leave before it gets dark. And everybody around them says, yeah, yeah, yeah. But then you say, if you were around us, we would steal all your shit. Right? That's what he said. And I have these time stamped, so you can play it yourself. And big time, oh, what's the solution? Well, somebody did bring up a solution at 1:30:08. So there's a guy named Rilla. And Rilla has a similar perspective, which is he doesn't like people who live outside of Chicago talking about Chicago. So I guess a Chicago appeal to authority. But here's his solution.
5 efforts, interrupters of violence and intervention programs that I'm trying to raise funds for. So I hope y'all support it when I launch that, right? But here's the other thing that nobody's asking themselves. If Chicago is in such a state of emergency and
so he talks about he's trying to start a fundraising program for violence interrupters. And then there's this soldier on the panel who says, you know, violence interrupting, those programs don't work. And I have to agree with the soldier. His name is Mail Monkey. If we look at the trajectory of Baltimore, last year, 3 violence interrupters from their Safe Streets program were murdered, were killed. Murder just means your life was taken. One of the violence interrupters was killed by a cop, but that's because he was chasing a woman and fell on top of a woman with a big ass kitchen knife. And the cop had to shoot him. So you had like a Micaiah Bryant situation where it's like, if the cop hadn't shot him and then he stabbed a woman to death, the whole black community, oh, you didn't shoot him. But then when he did shoot him, the black community was like, oh, why'd you shoot him so many times? You didn't have to shoot him. And a solution presented here was, I need money. So I want to talk about something now, and I want to take that. I went through all that to go to the solution. So I don't know if anybody remembers, but I want to talk about the looting that occurred during Christmas in Buffalo. Right? And I just want to show a couple of the videos of the black community robbing the stores in Buffalo. And then I want to present to you a question.
Ain't no AC. Shut the fuck up. Whatever you just said, bitch, suck my dick. I'm scrolling to see what the fuck you doing. Let's yes, I'm glad shut your clown ass up. You think so? You on here? You entertain? You having a good time, right, Whitney? Bitch, it's Christmas, bitch. I ain't doing shit, bitch. I'm telling
So there's a blizzard at Christmas, and they're stealing everything from all the stores.
you, bitch, what's up? Yeah, I'm in here to have a good time. Laugh and joking. Who the fuck is you, bitch? Me to be here and get you some shit for your motherfucking teeth, you gay bitch. Get off my dick. Bitch, they got two-faced girl somebody on here on my dick. I'm about glass, you want cloud, bitch. I go live with everything, bitch. Who gives a fuck? What happened? Is there baby wipes in here? Girl, we don't got no kids. Don't know, bitch. Don't find that shit. We don't work here, bitch. We ain't here feeling like you. Bitch. Huh? Yeah, girl, just hold on. They just pissed me off on the bike.
See the bag? See the bag she has of everything?
Just hold on. They just pissed me off on the bike.
Get your dick out your stomach, faggot. Why you mad?
Yeah, okay.
Why you mad?
Okay.
Get your dick out your stomach, faggot.
Fuck is you mad? We getting it how we get it.
We getting it how we get it. That's right. It's Christmas, and we stealing.
Fuck you talking about? We ain't sitting on our ass, bitch. Come do it like us.
Okay. Oh, yeah, period. Bitch, come get your brain up hot, bitch. You fake ass bitch, because I'm about to get me one. Come on, glass, you want cloud. Bitch, everybody in Buffalo, bitch, they done hit everything. Bitch, they done went live. They been doing this shit, bitch. Girl, okay? This how I feel about him.
And we drinking on they shit in they store. And we live in they shit. And what the fuck is you gonna do, bitch? You act
And we drinking in this store, and we taking all that shit, and we live. What the fuck is you gonna do about it? We're gonna keep going. I think this was the Walmart. And of course, remember, Chicago is the same place where all the aldermen and a senator went up there and said, the reason Englewood is a ghetto and the black people are poor is because of Walmart. And they asked Walmart to give them $10 million. They said they're leaving because they're racist. So Scott Adams was right. No matter what you do, it doesn't fucking... Are you seeing that the black community is the epitome of the sunk cost fallacy? This is the Walmart. And I wonder how many black people worked at this Walmart and how many jobs did they lose? So you robbed your own people of their livelihood. Good job. And now you see the water? So that means the sprinklers were on, which means you hear the fire alarm. That means everything in the store is just has water damage now. Everything in the store is worth nothing now because it has water damage. So all the merchandise in the store now has to be replaced. Tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars of shit. Right? Because of a blizzard. This is a crime of opportunity, but do you understand, like, when someone says, I can't go to your festival because you stab and kill people, and then you say to them, if you were near us, we would take all your shit. I believe you. That's why I'm not near you. Do you understand? Is this white supremacy? Am I a Yahtzee for saying this? Am I a white supreme pizza? Let's go to the next one. Let's see if this one will sound. Another looting at the Family Dollar.
Time.
Huh? يا ها نهبوا فاملي دالا يا شباب على تشوفوها.
I don't know. This guy doesn't sound black to me. This guy sounds Middle Eastern or Arab. I'm not sure.
ولا أعرف فيها حاجة.
But that is typical in the black community where it's the Arabs, the Asians, and the Latinos that typically own all the stores. I wonder why that is.
يا ساتر يا ساتر يا ساتر يا ساتر يا ساتر يا ساتر ولا عخلوشين. Oh yeah, it's my boy. He loaded it, man. It's alright. It's alright. Huh? Huh? You good? You good? You good? Huh? صور.
So that guy DMT, when you say you'll steal everything, don't worry, we believe you. There's one real video I want to play where the Arabs show up and they open fire. That was the crazy one. I wonder if that one got taken down. But yeah, there is a video where the Arabs show up and they open fire. I think they shoot in the air. I'm not sure. We'll watch one more.
Look at him running out. Look at him running in the house. Wow. Drop it all. You won't go to jail. They ran around this house. They fucking put it around here.
So let me stop because I want to find that video if I can find that video. Hang on. Let's go to Google. Yeah, I got it. So this will be the last thing I show. It'll be a short one today. So it's from the New York Post. So 8 people were arrested. So video shows local opening fire on looter in Buffalo Blizzard. Ransacker had tried to break into one of the Pine Hill storefronts. Let's see. I mean, articles are good, but I like the videos because they just, you know, pictures worth 1,000 words, right? Clip show a group of people, some carrying brooms and sticks. Where is it? I wonder if I can find it. That was one of the neighbors that probably had business in the area. The manager, who asked to remain anonymous, speculated. As far as I know, he shot in the air to scare them off because I guess he was sick of them breaking into one of the businesses across the street. He just don't want them to break anything anymore. 9 people have been busted. Oh, yeah, here we go. Because in the video, what you hear is you hear the blacks say, oh, it's the Arabs. The Arabs are here. And then the Arab opens fire, and then the blacks act surprised. So I'm trying to see if I can find that video. Is this it here? This might be it. I Things go down. I can't find the video. But anyway, my whole thing was, what would you like? My thing is, so during Christmas, the black community comes out and they steal from Arabs and they loot all these stores. Now imagine the guy from Chicago. Imagine his proposal. His proposal is, give me money so I can hire violence interrupters. And violence interrupters, what does that mean? That means we're going to pay black people to talk to black kids so they don't steal and shoot. What do you think these Arabs would say to you? Do you think they would tell you to go fuck yourself? Why should they give you a fucking dime? That's the one thing I've never understood about the black community. It's like, you all acknowledge the violence is coming from you. And we'll stick in Chicago. You know the violence is coming from your kids. You know the violence is, again, 62 people were shot. And somebody's solution was, give us money. I don't get it. It's something I don't understand, and I don't know why these Arabs have to give you anything. Like, why? You literally. Do you think by stealing from these Arabs, are they now allowed to hate you? Do you think their children? So when those Arabs go home and they tell their children, we lost our business. Your mom and dad lost their jobs because the black community took everything out of the store. And now we have to move, or we have to sell our car, or we have to sell our home. And your father now has to do data entry. And then imagine if like a black nonprofit came to your house and asked for money. How fast do you think those kids would tell you to go fuck yourself? Does that make sense? Anyway, that's what I think. Leave a comment down below.